Day one of the entrepreneurship course, most students are smart enough to know what an assumption is, but they don't understand the gravity of the danger of that assumption. It's like, oh yeah, I have some assumptions, and then you just breeze past it. Not, these assumptions will destroy everything.
Okay, so the lean cycle, or the process of lean, kind of goes like this. You build something, you measure whether that thing worked or not, or why it works, or how it works, and from that measurement, you learn some stuff. And from what you've learned, you go and you build another thing. And then you build, you measure, and you learn over and over again. We think about it really physically, right? Like we want to build a skateboard, or build a thing in a factory, something made out of metal with like cogs. But a sentence is something you've built. A lean canvas is something you've built. So you've just done your first prototype. You've prototyped a sentence of an idea. You've built a tangible thing. It's not in your head, it's like on the piece of paper. We'll take the idea that you've built and we'll test it a bunch, and we'll end up with some learnings that we'll put into the two boxes for customer segments and problem. Step 1, open your phone. Step 2, just search through your contact list until you find somebody that looks vaguely like one of your customers, and then just call them up. Call them up and say, hey, have you ever experienced problem? And then just shut up and let them talk. If you're nervous about picking up the phone, use this script. Hey, customer, I know this is kind of a weird call, but I'm doing some research. Have you ever experienced problem? The golden rule to making good phone calls is don't mention your solution. And you're gonna wanna tell them about your great idea. Don't. The reason why is that if you mention your solution, you stop the conversation being about them and their problem, and it starts being about you pitching your idea, and we get nowhere. Instead, deflect questions about the solution. Say, yes, but I'm just interested in your experience. Say, actually, no, I'm just doing some research. The important thing is that in the machine of the business, we're just looking at the nuts and bolts of the customer and their experience of the problem. Do those things even exist? If you are inclined to start asking questions via text chat, okay, start in text chat, but escalate to a call. Get someone on video chat, get someone on voice chat. The only excuse you should ever have for doing text chat, not voice, is because you speak a different language and you're translating via Google Translate. Or there's connectivity issues and they're in another country and the voice chat literally doesn't work. The reason why we want to get pumped about face-to-face and phone conversations is that you get texture and emotion and reality. It's a back and forth. We want to get as much time with the people that we're serving as we can. You want to see their body language, their facial expressions. They're when you explain the problem to them, do you physically see them and go, oh my God, I hate that? You'll never get, oh my God, I hate that via text chat or a survey. We're just interested in, does the problem exist for a group of people? We think about it in terms of pain, in terms of loss, in terms of negative feelings and experiences for the person. Here's a simple way of thinking about how painful the problem is for the person. Vitamin, painkiller, or oxygen. A vitamin level problem is something that I don't really need, but it might add something nice to my life. So a phone game, an app that makes me slightly more efficient at work. A painkiller is something that removes a pain from my life. I have a headache, I take a painkiller, the headache goes away. Oxygen level problem is something where without a solution to this problem, I die. Or I economically or emotionally die. So if, for example, I dropped my phone in the toilet, I would go out and buy another one an hour later because I can't live my life without this phone. This phone is oxygen. If you can't get access to money, money is like economic oxygen for most people. If you can't pay your rent, if you can't buy food, think through your life and think about the things that you just use without even thinking about And think about what problems it would cause if people removed that from your life. So even if you don't have an oxygen level problem that you're working on right now, maybe just think about how will we get there over time. Write the words vitamin, painkiller, and oxygen on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, and then just put your problem kind of somewhere on that scale. Once you've done that, think about ways that you could kind of nudge it up the spectrum. So for example, I don't really need another push bike. I don't really need a single push bike because I live really close to the shops. A bike courier definitely needs a push bike or they can't do their job. So a push bike for Will is kind of a painkiller. A push bike for a bike courier is an oxygen level problem. So it's really important to be obsessed with our customers and their problems. One easy way to access the problem is to think about it from our own point of view. Finish this sentence. I can't believe it's current year and we still ... So I can't believe it's 2018 and it's going to take us like 100 years to get gender equality in the Australian Parliament. I can't believe it's 2018 and fax machines still exist. I can't believe it's 2018 and it takes 2 days to get money from one bank to the other bank. My students and I call it happy angry. You know, we don't want to be like, I can't believe that poverty exists and it's terrible, I'm going to go to bed. It's like, I can't believe that this particular form of poverty in this area for this group of people exists. Let's work on that. You know, I want it to be like, it should be a motivating, I can't believe that still exists because we can fix it. I can't believe that this problem exists when there's such a simple solution. You know, we want something that's accessible, something that makes you angry, but something you feel like you can work on. If you've done this right, it's only taken you 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes to do these tests. If you've got a team, you've done them times the number of people in your team. And all of that information is still just a sense check. Does the customer exist and do they experience the problem we think they experience? Now, you finally get to write something down. We want one post-it note or one sentence. One for the problem, one for the customer.
So I had this one student who got really good at checking her assumptions over the course of about 6 months. And as she got better at it, you could see it happening in the way that she talked. And so, 6 months in, she comes to me with an idea for like a mentor matching program. She's like, okay, so we've got teachers on one side and students on the other end. And then you could see her stop and go, oh, damn. Oh, those are all assumptions. Oh, I'm talking about two groups of people that I don't know particularly well. And if I get that wrong, nothing's going to work. And you could see that like moment. And so it's like watching somebody physically stop and think through those assumptions that they've had is just a joy to behold. It's like one of the best indicators of future success for an entrepreneur. I don't know, it's like I physically saw her stop, not go down a bad path, and suddenly see that there are a billion other paths she could have gone down, and all of them better because all of them had fewer assumptions.